I love the fact that we get to know the kids in a different atmosphere. Because as a teacher, we see them in the classroom, and it's a behavior and academic. But outside of school, we get to see their personalities a lot more, and we get to know them, and we get to see, you know, how kind-hearted they are and the humanity side of it. And so that's fun, and we get to have fun with them. I think that's the best part I like.
I love that we get to see all different kinds of talents. They, you know, some are really great at memorizing, some are really great at expression. We get to see different kinds of talents that I don't see in a math classroom.
And for me, it's, I'll be the growly one, the old lady. For me, it's having the kids that sometimes they're not athletic and they're not, you know, they might not be confident to try out for the play, but they can have a part in the play, you know, through doing the crew and doing the drawing and everything, because they don't really have to be artistic. They just have to want to be a part of it. Mm-hmm. And it's a place for them to belong that they might not find otherwise.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I like that.
That was
I think the biggest thing is not getting stuck in the book, because it's easy to just read those lines. And as we teach expression and we play improv games to teach them how to do those different elements, and that you can actually see them start to do it. And then we take the book away. And this group really has done phenomenal. They probably had their lines down earlier than any other group I've had. So that's been exciting that they're ready to jump in and get that element done. So.
I love how, again, not only from reading out of the book, but then they're memorizing their own lines, but then they have to memorize the lines around theirs. There's a lot of scenes that are very jumpy and back and forth and little one-liners, and they know what lines are around theirs and when they come in. So that's really impressive to see for 5th and 6th grade.
They also make new friendships, friends that they might not have been friends with otherwise. I don't see that really in the crew, but I see that every year in the cast. The crew, they kind of stick with their little group, which is fine, but they start opening up and giving suggestions, you know, they get more comfortable.
They start to realize that it's not just this 10-year-old self standing on stage, but that, oh, I have to be this character and I get to pretend to be someone else and someone different. And that's a hard thing to learn, because when they're little kids, they pretend and play, and then you get into that middle section where it's like, oh, it's not cool to do that anymore, but they get to do that and it is cool for them to do. So that's been fun too. For me, I started it 5 years ago because my son, when he was going through school, they used to do a middle school play and they would do a middle school musical, and then it just kind of faded away. Like, nobody wanted to do the play. I don't think they had any interest for an adult leader. So when I moved to the middle school, I was like, I would really love to see that start up again, because again, I think that there are kids that they don't know what their focus is, but they're not athletes. Maybe they like music, maybe they like art, maybe they would like theater if they got a chance to try it. And so I wanted to open something up for those kids, start that creativity, and give them the basics and like learning how to be on a stage, because then when they get a little older into that 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, they can do the musical and they've got some background knowledge into it. So
I really grew up with theater, and when deciding on where to go to college, I really wanted to go to Nebraska Wesleyan, and I have my education degree, but I went there for theater, so I have a Bachelor of Arts in theater. I did 7 years of productions in college, and Ms. Borquite nabbed me up before I even signed my contract almost to do the play. She heard, oh, there's a theater person, we need help. So, I just started right away with it.
And I started out, I assisted Miss Gormley years ago, and just would concentrate on one project, helping the students do one project. And when she moved, they asked me if I would consider doing it. And I actually have an art degree, so I was an art teacher for 3 years and gave that up. So this is kind of my way of coming back. And I love spending time with the students. I really do. I thoroughly enjoy it.
I would just say that, I'm excited for people to see this show and to remember these are 10 and 11-year-olds, maybe 12, but that's the oldest that these kids are. And to imagine that they are memorizing, some of these kids have literally over 100 lines, like pages of lines. And that, they're learning about this character development, and they'll really enjoy the show and forget that they're watching 10 and 11-year-olds. And they'll be like, wow, that was really good. And so I'm excited for the cast and the crew to have the feeling of the audience and what they'll get back by having an audience watching them.